Hi, Cancer Sun and Rising. Welcome to your April 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, April is an important month for all of us, but for Cancer individuals, you're going to have a lot of activity in the sign of Aries. Aries is another cardinal sign as you are, and so it hits one of the angular houses. The first, fourth, seventh, and 10th houses in astrology are called angular houses, and these are supposed to be very important areas of life. I don't think I'm too much of a contrarian just for the sake of it, but I actually believe that, for instance, the second house, which is the house of money, that's important. The fourth house of home and family. So some of these houses that are not included, I think it's a little bit silly that they act like it's not as important. But these areas can be important in terms of some of these life events. And for you, Aries is your 10th house of career. So everything starts on the first of the month because we have a Mercury retrograde. This is at 27 degrees of Aries, so it's in that 10th house of career. There could be some kind of miscommunication with someone in a position of authority, or you might be rethinking your career plans. Something connected to any paperwork, and your career could also be, there might be some snafu. But of course, Mercury is a very fast-running, quick-running planet through as a transit, so it's not going to take so long to go direct. It will be on the 25th of the month that Mercury goes direct. On the 4th of the month, Venus goes into Aries. So Venus joins the Sun, Mercury. Chiron is in your 10th too. And that's very interesting, Cancer, because Chiron is a wounded healer. It's an asteroid that can really show areas where people are experiencing sensitivity. And so I can't remember exactly what year Chiron went into Aries, but it's been years. And so you may be a little bit touchy as far as your sense of self as a career person. The 10th house is your reputation. It's your success in the world. And if Chiron is here, there might be some Cancer people who are a little bit sensitive about this area of life, but at the same time, it may even influence some of you to become healers. So that Mercury retrograde could even be tied into what it is that you want to do as a career. And with Venus here, this can mean more money. This can mean more cooperation from people in authority, because you come across in a very pleasing sort of way. And Venus is magnetic, so it can influence other people to give you what you want. On the 8th, we have a solar eclipse here. So you see, the first 3 transits I mentioned are all Aries related. This solar eclipse is at 19 degrees of Aries, and this is the time where I should say that this is a general reading, and it will depend on your degree of sun or rising in Cancer as to where this will fall in your chart. It's not necessarily going to be the 10th house, but we have to remember that even if that's not true, everyone gets these transits eventually. Well, when it's Pluto, that could be a little bit tricky because it has such a long transit, or even Neptune. But in general. So in the 10th house of career, this could jumpstart your career. Now, you have Mercury retrograding here. This is one of those things that I get a little bit aggravated because I'm like, the Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the astrological new year in March, which as at the time of my recording has not yet occurred. And so we have that sense of forward motion when Aries is in play, plus Aries is a cardinal sign, so it's kind of like take action, take charge of a situation. And then here we have this month of April when we have these important transits, and a lot of them are under the Mercury retrograde. But we have to understand that the date of the eclipse is not necessarily connected to when we can expect the results of that eclipse. So what I would say is when this eclipse occurs in your 10th house, this is a powerful new moon. So you can still set your intentions about what it is that you want, and maybe there will be a delay in taking action because of the nature. As a matter of fact, Mars goes into Aries on the last day of the month, and Mars is the ruler of Aries. This is after Mercury has already gone direct, so that might be more of a time for career matters, for you to go forth and go after your dreams career-wise. But this can jumpstart your career in some way and plant seeds that can later manifest as opportunities for yourself at some point. On the 19th, the sun goes into Taurus, and this is at a friendly angle to you, called a sextile, and this is your 11th house of hopes and wishes, but also of gains. The 11th house is the house of the gains from your career. Now, I said that Venus went into your 10th house on the 4th of the month, and Venus is connected to money, so you may get more money from your career in the month of April, Cancer. And when the reason I'm building up to this is because the very next day after the sun goes into Taurus, there is a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction at 21 degrees of Taurus. And this is that house of gains. So you might see, Jupiter is this planet of expansion and luck, and it can also be about money, and Uranus is about unexpected events, surprises. So it could be a surprise increase for some reason. And if you have a kind of career where you don't have a set amount of money that you could make, that might be a very welcome surprise. Also, this is the area of friendships and groups, and both of these planets here can indicate, because they're more of a longer term transit than Venus or Mars, which are only a few weeks. But Jupiter is a year, 13 months. Uranus is about 7 years. So this can be, Uranus has been about Cancer people maybe making friends with people who are quite different than you might be. Unless you have the moon in Aquarius, which is the planet that is ruled by, the sign that is ruled by Uranus, then you may already have these tendencies. But Cancer people tend to be more traditional. And so Uranian type of people like Aquarians and people who maybe have planets in the 11th house, they tend to be a little bit eccentric, a little bit different. And for some reason, you may be coming in contact with them. And this is not just for now. This may have been true for the last several years, okay? At the very least, this creates an expansion for you, Cancer, because you see how the other half live. You see how other people approach life. And I really believe when there are prominent Uranus transits that for somebody like a Cancer individual, this can even affect the type of environment that you want to live in, because you may be more communal. You might be influenced by the group dynamic to the point where you want to live in community. And there are communities around the globe where people live together because they have shared environmental and spiritual tendencies. And because you have Chiron in the 10th house, you may be getting into alternative healing, for instance, as a career goal. And that could lead you to these types of people. On the 23rd, we have a full moon at 4 degrees of Scorpio. Scorpio is your 5th house, which is connected to love and creativity. This is great for artists, for conceiving projects, for conceiving or for finishing a project. But when I said conceiving, this is a house of children as well. This is the house of conceiving children. This is the moon sign, and so this is definitely fertile energy. And I think Cancer, all water signs, I think, are fertile signs. So watch out, Cancer. Cancer females, or even maybe Cancer males. I don't know if it would make your sperm more active, or I don't know. Forget I said that. So this can also be in connection with love, because Cancers tend to, those claws of the crab tend to hold on tight to everything emotional, including, people, places, and things that maybe are not nourishing you, and maybe what you shouldn't be necessarily clinging to. So this allows you to let go in love, or you could be letting go, falling in love, if you have been holding out for a particular person. On the 25th, Mercury goes direct in that 10th house of career, so things should start to move more smoothly after that. On the 29th, Venus goes into Taurus. Venus is going into that 11th house. This is the house of gains. Like I said, even more opportunities to, improve your financial situation as it pertains to your career. Also, this could be finding love through your social networks. On the 30th, Mars goes into Aries. This is when you are starting to really turn up the heat when it comes to career goals. So maybe you have felt like your hands were tied, or something was not ready to gel. Now you're like ready to go full throttle. Watch out, because Mars can indicate conflict, and the 10th house can be authority figures. Be careful about being so ambitious, or, just energized about things that you have some kind of clash with an authority figure. Even if you feel that you are doing something that is correct, that you should be doing, you still have to, respect anyone who is in a position of authority over you in the workplace, in your career. And at least, even if you have your own ideas of how you want to do things, that you allow that other person to at least, have their say. Because you are a cardinal sign, and you tend to be like better off in a position of authority than to be in a subordinate position. But of course, it doesn't always work out that way. And so, there might be clashes sometimes, when a cardinal sign person is being given marching orders. And especially now with Mars here, because you might be unusually aggressive. Okay, Cancer, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double readings because there is a savings instead of when you buy those types of readings separately, and they really do work as a package deal. So this is called my deep dive reading, which is a double reading, an hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for the upcoming 12 months for a special price. And as far as standalone readings, I have love readings, career readings, reading your child's natal charts, just all kinds of readings. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thank you for listening. Bye.